After a long-standing struggle of decades, opponents of a proposed airport in Pickering, Ontario may finally have a reason to be optimistic. Recent events such as a Pickering City Council vote and a suggestion from the federal government that an airport may not be required in the long term could lead to the abandonment of the project once and for all. Advocates of the project argue that it could create jobs and spur investment, but opposition to the project is strong. The Pickering lands are 18,600 acres of land in and around Pickering, owned by the federal government. The decision by the government to acquire the lands in 1972 was for the purpose of building an airport, but after 3 years of protests, the development was put on hold in favor of expanding existing airports in Ontario. Most of lands have since been handed out to residential, farm and commercial tenants, with 10,000 acres added to Parks Canada for the creation of the Rouge National Urban Park. A 2016 report commissioned by Transport Canada stated that an airport would not be required in southern Ontario until 2036. These findings, as well as a commitment to reduce greenhouse gases, led Pickering City Council to recently pass a motion to renege its support for the airport. More recently, Transport Canada announced a request for a new study into airport capacity needs in southern Ontario, in response to the significant growth that is expected in the area over the coming decades. There is talk that the conclusions of the study could ultimately lead to the determination that an airport on the Pickering lands is not necessary in the long term. Opponents of the airport are feeling hopeful, such as Mary Delaney, chair of the conservation group Land Over Landings. Delaney emphasized the fact that Transport Canada saying that the airport might not be built, something she has never heard before. However, proponents of the airport still feel there is a reason to go through with this. Mark Brooks, who moderates a website in support of the airport, believes that Ontario's aviation industry will eventually require a new airport. At the same time, Pickering's first-term mayor Kevin Ash was the sole councillor to vote against the motion declaring a lack of support for the airport. He argued that the project could create jobs and economic opportunities,